Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and today we have an incredibly exciting piece of breaking LEGO news. One of, if not technically, the largest LEGO set ever has just been released. Set number 10307, the Eiffel Tower, has just been revealed and will be available for purchase soon. You see, technically, this is the world map set. It came out around last year and has 11,000 pieces. Although most of those pieces are just 1x1 studs, and many weren't actually used in the construction at all because you had some alternate options for display. The next largest set is the LEGO Titanic set, which also released very recently and came with 9,000 pieces. This is definitely one of, if not the longest LEGO sets ever, and is basically the largest set in terms of piece count when it comes to a solid build. But the brand new Eiffel Tower will have even more pieces. Coming in at 10,001 pieces, this has just been revealed, and I cannot wait to showcase all of the different details surrounding this set. Now, previously we actually did get a large-scale Eiffel Tower model years ago, and to be completely honest, this is pretty outdated compared to the building techniques we know today. Basically, all of the construction of the original LEGO Eiffel Tower was just made by just kind of stacking basic bricks together, and while it certainly is a very impressive model, this new one is definitely going to outshine even this pretty impressive older sculpture just because of the sheer amount of crazy new building techniques, modern building styles, and of course, the height, because it is officially the tallest LEGO set ever, and I'm kind of curious if it will be the longest LEGO set ever as well, if you kind of laid it horizontally. We'll see about that. It is marketed as the tallest set ever, and I can't wait to get my hands on it, because it has been a slew of very large LEGO sets that we've seen releasing lately, from the Titanic to kind of kicking things off with the UCS Millennium Falcon back in 2017. LEGO has been making larger and larger sets, and this is officially the largest that isn't a mosaic, which is super exciting. So I've got a ton of photos and videos to showcase where we can see all sorts of in-depth looks at the Eiffel Tower set itself. I can't wait to get my hands on it and build and review it for all of you, but until then, let's take a look at the photos. Officially marketed as the tallest LEGO set yet, this set releases on November 25th, 2022 at a retail price of 630 US dollars, 630 euros, or 555 British pounds. This is easily one of the largest LEGO sets ever, as we just covered in the intro, and I cannot wait to add this new display piece to my collection because it is truly a stunning build. When images of this set kind of first surfaced online, I couldn't even tell where the LEGO bricks started and where the sculpture ended. It just looked so good from afar that it's really hard to tell that it's actually made out of LEGO bricks until you actually go close up and you can just see the sheer amount of detail that went into replicating this, and how this is pretty much the perfect Eiffel Tower set. Now obviously this is not minifig scale. If it was minifig scale, it would be incredibly tall and probably be the largest LEGO set ever, but it's still really tall. It is the tallest LEGO set ever officially, which is really fantastic to see. They actually stated that this reaches a 150 centimeter height, that's 58 inches or nearly 5 feet tall, making it taller than some people, which is crazy. I think that is pretty insane just how tall this is, which is a really kind of testament to how good LEGO construction has gotten over the past few years. You've got the truss work, it actually has all 3 observation platforms, even some landscaping down on the bottom base area. Of course, you have the elevators built in, the office at the top, a broadcast tower, and the French flag at its peak. And what's really cool is that you can actually separate the set into 4 different sections, and not only that, during the build process, it encourages you to build it in 4 sections. And this isn't confirmed, but I would probably assume that they're going to maybe implement the build together type of system. So maybe if you want to build this with friends, a friend could build one section of it and you could build the other, which would be really cool. And it actually mimics the original way the Eiffel Tower itself was built, in sections and then put together, which I think is really cool. Now, of course, this is probably one of the most detailed LEGO sculptures ever. You've got all these kind of promotional photos and the stock images of the model enjoying his build, but honestly, these aren't as bad as they usually are. Usually they're pretty funny to look at, but I think these are pretty nice and realistic. I definitely want to know where this guy's living because he's got a very nice house to display this in, but this is overall just a really cool set. And some of my favorite pictures from the actual stock photos released are the ones that kind of take a picture of what it looks like from down below. if you were a LEGO minifigure or maybe a micro figure looking up at the structure from the bottom, this is what it looks like. And that is really, really cool. You can just see how tall this is and the amount of detail you can capture here. They're using that fisheye lens, which obviously makes a lot of sense for a build like this. And one thing that's really hitting me is just how different and good this looks compared to the original LEGO model. The original one, which actually was set number 10181, it released in 2007, that came with 3,428 parts, which was one of the largest sets to come out around its time, but obviously has been completely outdone by a lot of other sets, including this one, which has 10,000 parts. But the crazy thing is, if you want a sealed copy or even just a new copy of the set, it's over $1,000 today. And even if you just want a used one, prices will range from $500 to $700, making the original set one of the most popular and sought-after original LEGO sculptures ever. And I can imagine that the value will probably go down after this goes out, because this one is $550. You could buy this one, which has over double or even triple the amount of pieces, so much more detail for pretty much the same price that you're going to be able to buy the original one off of based on Bricklink, so that price is probably going to go down, but it is still pretty crazy to see the enduring popularity of such a large LEGO icon, and I can't help but wonder, maybe LEGO is sitting on a potential massive market here for sets of large-scale icons that aren't just the architecture stuff. Because architecture does put out a few large sets here and there, but typically nowadays they're kind of limited to just skylines. Occasionally we get a larger set like the pyramid set, which was fantastic, but I really think that there is a big demand for actual large-scale versions of real-life towers, and the Eiffel Tower is definitely one of the big ones here. If this set sells well, I would love to see some future sets from LEGO of large-scale world sculptures, kind of like what they used to do back in the day with Big Ben and the Sydney Opera House and stuff like that. Just really large-scale replicas of official buildings or real buildings out there. Would be really cool to get a big Space Needle for Seattle, but maybe that one's a little bit too niche. But with that, I think we have about summed up our coverage of this particular set. Just a truly stunning set. All in all, I think this is probably one of, if not the best sets of the year, and it absolutely is not for everyone. If you don't really have any particular love for France or the Eiffel Tower or Paris, and of course don't have $550 to blow on what is essentially a large sculpture made out of plastic, then this is not for you. But for the collectors of LEGO who really want to appreciate how far LEGO engineering has come and really just marvel at one of the most impressive LEGO sculptures ever made as an official set, then this set is the set for you. And I, for one, cannot wait to get my hands on this. I probably will be doing a review and comparison to the original model, which actually, shout out to one of my friends, gave me the original model a few years back. Shout out to Julia Miller for giving me that original 10181 Eiffel Tower a couple years ago, which was really cool to get. And I just can't wait to see these two models compared next to each other, because that will be a sight to behold. Alright, and with that we have summed up our look at the brand new LEGO set 10307, the Eiffel Tower, releasing just in time for Black Friday here in the US. Now I cannot wait to get my hands on this, and I also am really curious to hear, what do you think of this massive flagship new LEGO set retailing for $630 US, releasing very soon? Do share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Will you be picking up this monstrosity? And what do you think of what is basically the largest LEGO set ever if we don't count mosaics? I, for one, love the look and feel of the Eiffel Tower, and I cannot wait to display it next to the original one, just to kind of showcase how much LEGO has grown over the years, from some of the more simplified building styles here, moving onwards to what will eventually be a much more larger and detailed sculpture, which I can't wait to showcase for all of you. But that about sums up this reveal and showcase video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the set? I can't wait to get it in hand, and until then, thank you all so much for tuning into Duckbricks. Like and subscribe for even more LEGO news, reviews, discussion, and analyses coming your way very soon. Bye for now.